Carl, let's move from that lady to pensions in general. There was some reform on pension. Now, I'm going to familiarise myself with the lingo. First of all, there's the idea of a one-pot pension. Can we give me a simple guide to what that means?
So my understanding of it that I got from early this afternoon is most employers, if all employers, will have auto-enrolment schemes for members of their staff. And it's normally the employer that chooses that scheme. We will have a certain solution, and most businesses will have their own solution. And when a new employee joins, they will be auto-enrolled into that solution. Now, the downside of that is with people not staying in employment as long, or job hopping as you may want to call it, people then build up lots of tiny little pension pots, which is a nightmare because people lose them, they lose track of what they've got. Economies of scale means you don't really get the benefit of building up a larger amount of money. So I can understand the government's reasoning for saying, as an employer, if an employee joins you, we can direct the employee has the choice to say to their employer, send the money to the scheme I've already got, rather than that employee going into the scheme that you've got for everyone else. Now, I get that. There are lots and lots of benefits of it. But I then put my hat on as an employer and think, that could be a blooming nightmare. How do you facilitate that in the slightest? And we've got about 30 people. Robert's got thousands of people, as he's already said. You imagine thousands of people coming and saying, I've got my own pot. How do you facilitate that? And I don't know whether the detail will come out in due course. I don't know whether they've not really put the thought into it. But it could be a nightmare for employers in how do you facilitate that? Maybe not in the early days, but certainly over time as that momentum builds. And
then there were two other little mentions, PPF and dormant funds.
Yeah, so the Pension Protection Fund, hopefully not many people know about it, and only those who know about it tend to be the ones who've been disadvantaged by a defined benefit pension scheme that has failed in the past. So, you'd like to think not many people are affected. But this Pension Protection Fund is a government and regulatory backed scheme. There are billions of pounds in assets in there. And what came out of today was that they are looking to, I'll use the word force, or look into using monies within that pot to actually invest it more in business startups and that growing sector investing in UK PLC. The same applies for lots of dormant pension funds. There has been rumour about this for quite a while now. Again, there are billions and billions of pounds sat in pension funds, untouched. People who may have long left the country, they may have passed away years ago, but there's dormant funds doing nothing. And because a lot of really sizable pension funds tend to sit at the more risk-averse end of the spectrum, that money's just sat there, not really making money or growing. Whereas if that money can be deployed into UK PLC, into growing companies, growing sectors, then hopefully it should see greater investment, which you'd like to think has a positive outcome.